Gene!
Oh, I cannot believe my eyes.
I am here.
And he really is here.
I am here.
It's amazing.
It is.
I don't know how he got up the hill.
We snuck in last night.
Oh,
we did.
I was kind of thinking he was bilocating or levitating. I'm not sure
No,
which.
I am here. I am right here. I am looking at 5,600 feet of gorgeousness. Yeah. And here we are. I'm right next to the unicorn pen feeding them invisible carrots.
I don't know. His third eye is kind of contaminated, so
What?
he keeps seeing unicorns around here.
God.
The truth is we have bears and lions, mountain lions, and we have woodchucks, but we don't have any unicorns.
Somebody's been hitting on your wood pile. I saw that.
My husband. It's called wood stove.
I noticed that. I thought the woodchucks were chucking wood.
Well, they do chuck those wood. I mean, a lot of the wood had big bites in it.
All right. Okay, William, that's it. He's excited to be here, Gene. We figured we'd sneak in on you.
William, you know what? I really missed you.
Yeah, William misses you too.
He just slobbered all over me.
Oh, now you insulted him.
I'm sorry, William. You just gotta quit that.
He's gonna run away.
Come back, William.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Arthur.
Hey, what are we talking about today,
Oh,
Gene?
we have a show for you. We always have a show for you. We just are the show people.
We are showness in action.
And you would rather watch us than Fox News and or CNN.
Well, they can only listen to us at this point.
I know, but I mean.
Okay.
You can look at us.
We are here.
I know, but you can look at us on our website,
That's right. Little pictures fade in and out.
Right.
Yeah, that's Gene and I in all our glory.
Yeah, well, the moon's in Sagittarius, so anything we say or do today.
Hey, you know what? We need a picture of William up there.
I know. Great idea.
Yeah, William. And then I have a special camera that takes unicorn pictures.
Unicorns went to their second death. Do you know what the second death is?
Yes, I do know what the second death is.
That means they've been wiped off the
Okay, well,
stage
then
of
you're
life.
going to have to tell all the New Agers that have little pictures of unicorns that, it's not real.
Well, there's a lot of things on this planet not real. As a matter of fact, your whole situation on this planet is really not real. You're just down here trying to figure out how to make it real. You're caught in a box.
I've been feeling like I've been in a box, but I thought it was just something I ate.
And the one thing that is a guarantee is change. And the funniest thing is that most people don't want to come out of their box. Yet if you change, you grow. And if you grow, you get closer to that great central son of being, and you can make your graduation papers happen.
Did you ever see the movie The Matrix, the trilogy?
No, but I should. I was kind of scared to watch it because there's a lot of weird stuff in there.
It is weird, and there's a lot of kind of scary stuff in there. But if you want to do it, it's like the red pill or the blue pill. And you have to check and see if you want to know the truth or you don't want to know the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
The truth will set you free. I know, truth is painful sometimes when people tell you the truth.
It is, yeah.
It's like they tell you there's lettuce in your teeth at the restaurant. It's so embarrassing, yet you're so grateful they told you because, you would have been talking.
Oh, now I feel bad. I saw a guy 2 days ago with lettuce in his teeth, and I didn't say anything about it. So
see, that shows we have to stand up and, tell the truth. That's the problem with everyone. They're afraid to tell the truth or stand for the truth. That's why there are certain people running in political circles right now that are finally telling the truth. And it's stirring up a hornet's nest.
Okay, who? Cruz? I doubt it.
No. Cruz has got the moon in Libra. He is a smooth-talking liar. And he's cruising for a bruising, and he's going to get that bruising. I'm telling you.
When? Did you see something
Soon,
in his chart?
yeah. Remember, we did his chart not too long ago.
I do.
As a matter of fact, all you listeners, you can go back and listen to some of our old shows like Ted Cruz, and I went through all the presidential candidates.
Yep, we did Hillary.
And you can see whether it's really happening when I predicted about them, and yep. Because the stars don't lie. They really don't, because they're based on a mathematical equation, and they show what the obstacles are to the will of God in your life. And the will of God, of course, has to do with the mission that you came here to do and the lessons you came here to learn. And, you want to get your graduations papers. You got to do that. You got to do what you came here that you're supposed to do, not some ego position.
Well, what about the Cruz thing? Is there some kind of fall that's coming up, or some kind of discovery?
He's just going to fade.
I
believe there will not be a contested Republican convention.
Really?
I believe Trump will go in there and have it. But Cruz is praying that isn't the case. And it's almost like he's a Canadian that's come to America to cause trouble. Even though he's now an American, 2 years ago he became an American. He was born in Canada. But it's, what real American would want a contested convention? What real American would want in harmony with a group of people, whether they be the right or the left? Who would want that?
Well, the last time I checked,
troublemakers.
I thought you had to be a natural-born citizen to be a candidate for president of the United States.
Well, he became,
as part of requirements.
That's what I thought too. So it's like, it's almost, and another thing, this
nobody's stopping
caucus delegate thing is like so confusing. I don't get it. And this system is rigged. I love that word, rigged. Everything seems to be rigged these days.
Yeah, Gene's on a rigged thing. I think it's because Donald Trump started talking about rigged. But you're right, it is. See, what you need to understand is that the primaries were actually a creation of each of the each of the parties. So you have the Republican conventions and the primaries, and you have the Democrat conventions and primaries, all of which can be manipulated or rigged. Now, when I went through the Iowa caucus process and became a delegate last presidential election, I went through that process, and we talked about that. We have a show on that. And so I went all the way to the state level with this, Joni and I, and we
Joni's his wife, you guys.
Right. Well, if they had listened to the marriage show, they would hear Joni, and she was right there. She's still doing the mantra, by the way, in case you heard that other show.
Didn't I see her floating by?
Yeah, exactly.
Levitating into the cosmos.
Yeah, she's a sweetie. So
I think he's in love. He's Twitter-pated is the problem.
Twitter-pated. Right, what that's right out of...
Bambi.
Bambi. Oh, isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Right next to the unicorn pen. Bambi up there.
What a brat.
Where was I? We were talking about, the Iowa caucus thing and the process. It turned out that votes were being miscounted. Votes were being excluded. We saw it in Maine that year. We saw it in a bunch of other states. We saw the the Republican convention that there were 5 state delegations which were required for Ron Paul to be on the ballot, and they were denied access to the convention.
Well, so here's something weird.
You talk about rigged. It's
Colorado,
rigged.
Nobody got to vote. They picked the delegates and they were on their way. Wyoming, same thing. So Cruz gets all the delegates in those 2 states because it was rigged. And he's just, I'm so happy. I got the delegates from Wyoming and from Colorado. And I didn't have to do anything because they cheated. They cheated. And Trump is exposing that and making people think about it. I never knew anything about caucuses until this year.
Yeah.
So the whole of America is like waking up and going, what the heck?
All right. Well, they make it look like it's different for each state. But in reality, what it is so some states' rules basically say that if you win a primary by the vote, then certain percentage of the delegates go to you. If you win by a certain amount in some states, then you get a majority. But
nobody got to vote in these states. That's the thing. They
the
all of a sudden made a rule that we're just going to pick the delegates and go on our way. You guys don't get to vote.
Okay, so now everybody needs to understand that that's under the control of the Republican Party. So you think that these are independently verifiable, truthful types of things. They are not. It's a rigged game. Just like we're seeing some evidence of this in some of professional sports. If you take a look at the ticket that you get, you will notice that there is a legal phrase on that ticket that says that this is for entertainment purposes. That doesn't mean that you are getting the truth.
Or that you're getting entertained.
Or that you're getting entertained. So you have to look at this and wake up that it's just like somebody says that this is the actual truth. So if you look at some of the, like say NHL games, or you look at some of the NFL games, or you look at some of the NBA games, sometimes the calls are not what they look like they should be from the referees or the umpires. These things are preset because if they can go ahead and extend, like for example, a playoff series, there's millions of dollars involved.
It's about money.
It's
Follow
all
the
about
money and
money.
you got the answer.
Same thing with the Republican primaries, same thing with the Democratic primaries. So these are under the control of the Republican Party.
You know the funny thing is?
What?
You can't take it with you. You come in with nothing and you leave with nothing. And you have a round trip ticket. So what the heck does people... Why do we put so much attention on the money thing?
Well, it's power. It's power and control. Money represents power. It represents control. And you have to...
I have no power, no control.
You got to go back to the originals. You got to go back to the fallen angels. And the fallen angels took embodiment in the earth. So
that book, what is that book? Fallen Ones Among Us, Elizabeth Clare Prophet. Oh my God!
Oh, that's
Get a
an
hold
excellent
of that.
book. Yeah. So
scared the tar out of me though.
Yeah, it's some
The
pretty heavy
big guys, you know.
They do. So go to prophecyisgiven.com, and there's a good introductory series that you can read about that. And we talk about the good guys and the bad guys right up front. I think it's like first blog entry. Go check it out.
There's always been night and day, black and white, the Tai Chi, salt and pepper, and you know.
Yin and yang, male,
Yin
female.
and yang, male
Yeah, it's
and
all part of
female.
one of the.
It's part of balance.
You know what? We need a show on the Hermetic principles.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
should do a show on the Hermetic principles. So yin and yang, that is the law of polarity.
Right.
In the universe.
In this show, we may be all over the place. The moon is in Sagittarius today, and Mercury is in the red zone. It's getting ready to go backwards. And backwards is not a bad thing. Everybody out there, just take your Mercury retrograde and rethink all the things you're doing in your life. Redo them. It has been pounded into our heads that any planet that goes retrograde is a bad thing, and it's not. It's a rethink thing.
Yeah. These things that we're talking about being rigged. So really what we want on the theme of this show is just check it out and stop.
Go back and listen to all our shows, redo.
Yeah.
Listen to Ted Cruz and that guy, I tell you.
You talking about Kasich?
Kasich. That's another thing.
Yeah, what's going on there?
He's a Taurus. Taurus is stubborn as a bull.
Hey, watch it.
And when they get something on their head, they don't want to budge. He doesn't want to budge.
Don't believe it.
Oh my God.
I'm a Taurus.
You're watching Kasich do this. You know, it's like, go home, take your marbles and go home.
I was thinking of something like losing marbles, but I won't go there. Okay.
Hey, marbles.
Look at Jesus, got this funny look on his face.
He gets confused when I start talking, you know. It's
Oh,
like
now stop. Be kind.
he goes out and rides those unicorns that he thinks he sees in my yard.
I see lots of stuff. There are lots of things.
But, you know, there are many levels of being, too. So where are you seeing? Are you seeing into the astral plane? Are you seeing into the higher consciousness? There's 33 levels of consciousness below the physical and 33 above. Most people dwell at about the 4th degree below the physical.
Okay.
Some saints, and we watched a bunch of saint movies this weekend. Oh my God. The guy that did Dr. Zhivago did a bunch of saint movies, and they are so inspiring. I encourage you to go out and watch these movies because they will make you do all good deeds for the rest of your life. They're so inspiring, and they also make you laugh. Every saint I know had a great sense of humor. Are you a saint, Arthur? Or are you one?
Oh, sorry, I nodded off there for a second. No.
I love the saints. I love watching those stories. I'm so sick of the violence and the garbage that's coming through the movie industry. I had to go find something pure because my third eye is like falling apart.
Well, actually, that's what happened to me when I started watching one of the movies. And, you know, it wasn't quite the thing, but I agree with you. I mean, follow the lives of the saints, find out what they did, because most of these guys were radicals. Most of the guys,
revolutionaries.
They were revolutionaries. Most of these guys went contrary to whatever. I mean, you look at any of the saints, you know, gosh, Joan of Arc. I mean, you know, any of those saints, and Saint Therese. I mean, she was even radical to the point of making calls for people that had been given up on.
I want to be a saint when I grow up, and I am. I live in the mountains, you know.
You are a saint in the making.
And you're at the bottom. I feel like I'm at the bottom of the mountain looking up, even though I'm at 5,600 feet. It's a long way to the top. It's hard work to get to the top. Why is it so hard to do a good deed?
Yeah, but to say this, I want to say everybody is a saint in the making.
I know.
They have the opportunity to be a saint in the making.
I know, but why is it so hard to have a day where you don't have one negative thought or have one criticism Or say one gossip.
Oh, God.
Why is it so hard? It should be easy.
The dweller on the threshold.
Stay tuned for more
There
on the
is more.
dweller on this one. No.
What?
Yeah, free will choice. I want to make the choice to only have uplifting thoughts and to watch Arthur ride unicorns around the property.
Hey, look.
Something keeps getting in the way.
Hey, something keeps getting in the way. Yeah, all right. Okay. You know how I feel about unicorns anyway. It's kind of that New Age fluff. No, seriously, if you take a look at some of the New Age pictures all the time, and my sister's a channeler. And so I ended up going through a lot of this stuff to get to the point where I really asked the truth. What is the truth?
A channeler, you mean like a channel surfer when somebody turns a dial?
You can think of it that way.
Oh, yeah, going down the 33 levels of consciousness and up the 33 levels of consciousness. There's ghost, there's discarnates, there's scary things in some of those areas. So those channelers, you never know. Like Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost, man, those discarnates jumped into her body and she wiggled around. Do you remember that scene?
Oh, I do remember.
That's
that
a true
scene.
story.
Well,
it's creepy.
I can tell you. I can tell you for a fact because I had to come through that stuff to really look for it, and you had to get to the point where I'm saying, okay, God, what is really the truth? All right, but before I got to that point, whatever it was, past life, or I had to go through this stuff. I had to face and conquer that kind of thing, and I was exposed to a lot of that before I found the really depth of teaching. And what I found was when I got into that, the movie Ghost is very close to reality, except it has one major error.
What?
The error is that, do you remember in the movie when the discarnate jumped out of her?
Yeah.
And the discarnate was the one that actually had no energy left? Do you remember that?
Right.
And the discarnate's writhing around not having energy? That's not right. Basically what happens is the energy is taken from the channeler and anybody who's in the room. So the discarnate is the one that actually gets the energy.
That's right.
Okay,
just like the ghost that was in the train and trying to get the cigarette thing going. He was getting the energy going.
Yeah, the guy in the train station. So be aware that even that movie has some errors in it.
Well, yeah, of course, it's Hollywood. But, it's thinking about 33 levels of consciousness below the physical plane, how dark can you go? Look at Prince. We just lost that guy. They found out that he's been buying $40,000 worth of drugs for the last 25 years. And I was looking at him in some of the film and video they had of him, and he looked empty. It's like nobody was there.
Oh, it's totally empty.
So what that does is it creates a situation where the ghost can just climb in.
And what can happen is when your auric field breaks down after you've been...
Your aura is your presence around you.
Yeah, and it's your spiritual protection. So all this stuff that we talk about things that you can't see, you have a set of protection, and you can evoke the presence of the angels and the angelic realms to protect you even more. But when you take a drug or a substance that's either too yin or too yang, meaning it's out of balance with the body, it will throw your body into a standpoint where you become susceptible to that. And so you can then take on these kind of things. And then it's difficult to get rid of them.
There's this great book called Return from Tomorrow by George Ritchie. And he had a near-death experience. He died for 9 minutes. Of course, when you die and you go to the other side, there's no time and space. So it could be, 50 years before you come back, even though on Earth time it's only 9 minutes. So he died for 9 minutes, and he went out of his body and ended up in a bar room. Somehow.
What was the name of that again?
Return from Tomorrow, George Ritchie.
That was the one I was trying to think of.
But listen to this.
I've read that
He goes
book.
in the bar.
Yep.
He's looking at all these beings up at the bar drinking, and one of the guys that was sitting in a bar stool falls over backwards, and about 10 of the other guys that were standing at the bar jump inside the body of this guy that fell over backwards.
Yeah.
So all the people that were standing around that bar were discarnates. They were not real people. What a reality check there.
Okay, a discarnate is somebody
it cracked open his aura, and they just went right down that that soft spot in the top of your head.
Yeah.
The discarnates went right into that, right into his body.
Yeah. Okay. So a discarnate is somebody that is not incarnate. Intents purposes, it's a person who hasn't gone to where they need to go, and they have addiction. So, like for example, if you have a momentum of smoking or drinking, like Gene is talking about, they're going to hang around in bars. So that's why sometimes you can walk into some very dark places, and it feels dark. It feels creepy.
Well, they communicate by telepathic ability. So they put a thought form in your head. Oh, I got to have a cigarette. Oh, I got to have a drug. I got to have a drink, and so they pound that in your thinking processes, and you think your thoughts are your own, and they're not. So you go and you have that drink. The next thing you know, you're drunk, and then you pass out, and then the discarnate gets to use your body.
Right, because
he doesn't have a body of his own.
Your spiritual force field is broken down, so they jump right in. And the hard part is getting them out again.
This is so scary. I mean, this is getting into scary stuff, but I mean, it's like you got to be the guard of everything about you. You have 4 lower bodies: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. If you're not guarding it, those little boogers are going to get inside you, and they're going to cause some trouble, And your thoughts are not your own. Whoa. Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway, I tell you one way to scare them.
What? How do you scare them?
Boo! No, how you scare them is just say, Archangel Michael. That's all you have to say. And they're gone. They're out of there. They do not like light.
And that's, okay. So we got to stop here and have to explain this. So they say they don't like light. Why? What's the equation? The equation is discarnates don't have a source to that light or the forces of darkness. A
connection, yeah.
They've been disconnected. So what happened is that when they originally came down to take embodiment, like the fallen angels, they were cut off from the source of light because they kept abusing it, and they were misusing it, and they were causing other people to do it as well, and they didn't care. So they were literally cut off because they said, we're better than God, whatever the case is. So they don't have a source except from us. So they will find whomever they can.
Who's vulnerable, gullible, sensitive.
Or has some kind of an opening. We were just talking about some person that actually had very good connection to the light. And then the next thing you know, they
became a heroin addict.
Yeah, and they sneak up on you and attack you. And
yeah, you're until you graduate from this planet, you are vulnerable.
Archangel Michael.
He's my hero.
Archangel Michael.
He saved my life so many times, and many times gave me a witness to prove that I wasn't losing my mind because I'm being saved by angels.
He's also the patron saint of the police.
Hey, where did I get it, William? Could you please? I think we've gotten a little bit too deep here, and I don't have my boots on. So, William, can you come and get Arthur?
Yeah, we're just going to run down to the Immigrant Mall and get a non-coffee coffee, okay? And we'll be back.
All right.
All right, so stay tuned.
For more on 33 Levels of Being.
That's right. The Trek Upward Radio Show.
And please, by the way, go to astrologygenehart.com and book a chart with me today so we can see where you are.
What's that phone number?
406-599-3934. 406-599-3934. 406-599-3934. And you can text me.
All right, fine. Okay.
Bye.
Visit our website at thetrekupwardradioshow.com or stop by on Facebook at www.facebook.com/trekupward and be sure to hit like on our page. Or visit YouTube and search for the Trek Upward Radio Show. Be sure to subscribe so you do not miss another episode of the Trek Upward Radio Show. The Trek Upward Radio Show is a studio at 5,600 feet production.